within our industry, there's sort of you talk about closed loop. There's a closed loop of conversation that goes around in a lot of organizations. And I find it in a lot of the historical ones where they'll ask the channel and they'll ask the customer and they get feedback. And instead of it being feedback that helps sort of push innovation and development, what it does is it gives them a false sense of feedback that they're doing the right thing, right? And so, because I agree with you, and at the same time, having conversations with people that, this idea around being more open, the idea of doing this enablement side, you're seeing that too. So is it the right customer, or is it a balance? Like what is it?
I think it's not a right customer. Are you asking the right people that see what's actually happening in the future? So if you look at our world today, you're right. A manufacturer will go talk to an integrator who then talk to a specific end user that has already drank their Kool-Aid.
Correct.
And
I think it's called drinking their own bathwater, but yeah.
Yeah, bathwater, Kool-Aid, whatever.
Depends when you're taking a bath in.
I think every industry stuck in thinking that you can only look at your own industry for these things. And our reality, we have a sister industry in the video surveillance world, right? And it was not mainstream. It was, a CCTV system. You had these crappy cameras that had, VGA resolutions. And all of a sudden, and by the way, that industry is controlled by 3 manufacturers. It was controlled by Pelco, Bosch, and Panasonic. They had 80+% market share. And then all of a sudden, this whole thing called the internet and being connected and Ethernet was introduced, and it became more mainstream. And now people wanted better pictures. And so they got better cameras, which required them to get off of those old DVRs, which actually made it more modern and gave them what they wanted. Now, today it's mainstream. We all have, who doesn't have cameras at their house?
But this is what I was just going to say. The quick answer for me is, before, when you talk to the customer, a lot of them don't know what they want, or they don't know how to transform. That's what we're here for, right? But what they do know is they have an idea of what they want. And before, you couldn't give it to them. So when we were talking about co-working or hybrid work, everyone said, you can't work from home, you can't be productive. Well, yes, I can. I've just done it. You can't use, access and security locking is really difficult. I see Lee's eyeing up the food.
It's like,
but when people are at home using it to open stuff, they're opening their cars. They're seeing people do it. It's not the future anymore. They say, well, yeah, I want a booking tool that looks like Airbnb. Right? You can't tell me that it's not there because it's there. I want an Amazon logistics kind of, and it's the same with cameras. Yeah? You can't tell me anymore that it's not possible because I've got it at home. I've got streaming, I've got Ring doorbell, so you can't tell me that you're going to give me this crappy camera. And access control is getting the same demand-led push where they say, well, sorry, we don't get that. I can board flights, I can open stuff. Why can't I do it here? And that's that reverse Superman. Once it's done, then the user then says, well, I know you're not telling me the truth. And I don't know how to do it, but I know it's possible.
Trust and comfort then switches.
So that's more mainstream.
So, excuse me. So that enablement, that reverse Superman, doesn't just apply to the users; it applies to the administrators as well.
Yeah.
And so, in terms of customer examples or the customer moving, there's already enough examples and sort of things live in the real world where customers can see that as an administrator, as a user, you can already do these things that are advanced. And so the second part of that, what that leads to is that enablement requires interoperability in order to succeed, right? Like previously where you could just buy an access system, plug it into a wall like it was a toaster, wire it up with some readers from one party, and that's it, right? That's gone. All of us here have incomplete products because we all work with each other. So I think all 6 of us probably mostly all work with each other, everyone in some way. And that interoperability doesn't just stop between us and the industry, it also needs to be interoperable with IT platforms.
Right.
And so we certainly see that physical access is becoming sort of consumed or subsumed by IT and IT security. And that is further drawing everybody in the industry further to work together like the way the IT companies do, the IT security companies do, and provide these kinds of experiences. And so that is, I think, the biggest driver long term for this.